enthusiast Chuck Walsh walks down a dirt road that was once a thriving rail line called the Lackawanna Cutoff. Built at the turn of the 20th century, the line enabled trains to travel quickly between New York City to parts of Pennsylvania and upstate New York.
It was considered to be an engineering triumph when it was built. It allowed for speeds of 70 or 80 miles an hour in the entire length.
But construction of the interstate highway system in the 1950s and 60s made the automobile king and derailed the train industry. The last passenger train to travel on the Lackawanna line left Scranton, Pennsylvania in 1970. Larry Malski was on that train.
We knew what we lost. Scranton was built on coal, railroads, and steel. The railroads, unfortunately, almost disappeared. We saved what we could, and we saved a lot of what was here, thank God, because now it's vibrant and our freight industry is booming. But we need to bring back the passenger train.
Hopes of bringing passenger rail service to Scranton and other U.S. cities hinge on Biden's new infrastructure plan.
President Biden, nicknamed Amtrak Joe, racked up countless miles riding Amtrak trains from Delaware to Washington, D.C. as a senator. Reviving America's rail system is a top priority.
He's calling for a $66 billion spending increase on passenger and freight rail.
Your vision for Amtrak calls for a new intercity rail service, up to 160 previously unserved communities being connected. Think of what it will mean.
The funding could go to developing high-speed rail service between nearby urban centers. But the country's vast size, much of it rural, along with land use rights, make widespread high-speed rail an unlikely prospect. What is expected is upgrades on existing routes that would improve the speed and reliability of trains, and an expansion of rail service to underserved areas.
If you look at the map of potential corridors that Amtrak put out, there's lots of them. Scranton to New York is just one of many of those kind of sweet spots corridors, right, between 100 and 400 miles, where there's the potential of connecting two cities that haven't traditionally been connected, or at least not recently connected by intercity passenger rail.
The infrastructure plan also includes $49 billion to modernize public transit. The hope is that investments in rail and transit will lead to fewer people driving, reducing traffic and carbon emissions while boosting jobs and the economy. Karina Huber, CGTN.